So Chaitanya Bhagavat, and this is chapter 16. We've been hearing about the story of Shukrambara Brahmachari and how much Lord Chaitanya appreciates his association. And Shukrambara apparently is the incarnation of, or he's the Gaur Lila form of Sudamadas, Sudama Brahman from Dwarka, Krishna Lila. And Lord Chaitanya came to meet Shukrambara in his house, and he forcibly took some old rice that Shukrambara had begged, because he was living by begging. He was a very impoverished person, but a great devotee. And to show how much appreciation and love Lord Chaitanya had for him, he personally took the rice from his hand. This is text 141. And Navnas Thakur is explaining. Mudra Sahita Nayave Dhyara Jatavidi Veda Rupe Apane Balena Guna Nidhi. Lord Vishnubar, who is a reservoir of transcendental qualities, personally explained the Vedas, through the Vedas, the rules for offering food. Interesting that Shukrambara, of course, he wasn't really offering any food to Lord Chaitanya, but Lord Chaitanya was just taking some baked food that he offered. Somehow, now he goes on. Bine se vidi kichu svikara nakare sakala pratikya chorna bhaktir durjari. Vishnubar does not accept anything unless it's offered according to those rules, but he breaks all those injunctions for the sake of his devotees. Shuklambara tandula tahara paraman hateva sakala vidira bhakti pran. Lord Vishnubar's accepting Shuklambara's rice is proof of this fact. Therefore, devotion is the life of all rules. Sakala vidi bhakti pran. That's interesting. Sakala vidi bhakti pran. That's why Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that the mukhya vidi is to always remember Krishna, never forget him. So always remembering Krishna, only someone who's in love with someone can always remember their beloved. Because you can only remember something you're attached to, or someone you're attached to. If you're not attached to someone, you easily forget them. If you're very much attached to someone, your wife or husband, whatever, and you're thinking about them without even any effort. Doesn't require any extraneous effort or extra effort to remember someone you're very attached to. Their memory automatically rises in your mind. And the feelings of that memory generates spontaneous feelings in the heart also. So this is the main Sakala Vidi Bhakti Pran. He says that devotion is the life of all rules. So if we're always remembering Krishna, never forgetting him, by always remembering Krishna, then all the other rules come in place. All the other, so many rules and regulations are there, and they're all the different ways of expressing our remembrance of Krishna. Like the four regular principles, so we're remembering Krishna. Well, Krishna is Gopal, Govinda. He takes care of cows. He's a protector of cows. So how can I eat Krishna's cows? So I have to be a vegetarian. Oh, there's so many ways. So this is the primary thing. So this is devotion. Smaranam is a limb of devotion. Krishna Smaranam is bhakti. To remember Krishna is bhakti, but that type of smaranam doesn't really come. We can't really remember Krishna spontaneously till we come to the level of rati, asakti. Asakti means attachment. At the level of nishta, we remember Krishna sometimes, but not that often. At the level of asakti bhava. Bhava, we remember Krishna with feelings of love. That's bhava. We're attached to Krishna with feelings of love. But asakti means we're attached to Krishna, the person. And nishta means we're attached to the rules. Or attached to the practices and sadhana that brings us to Krishna. That brings us to attachment to Krishna. Nishta goes to asakti. Nishta goes to ruchi, ruchi goes to asakti. So ruchi means that we're attached to the rules and regulations of sadhana, and because we're getting some taste from those things. And then asakti means we're actually attached to the object of our sadhana. We're attached to Krishna. Aruchi becomes ruchi for Krishna, actual taste for Krishna, not taste for the limbs of devotion, but taste for devotion itself. Taste for chanting about Krishna or hearing about Krishna becomes taste for Krishna. Trishna for Krishna. Trishna means taste. So this is the interesting thing he's saying here. Sakala Vidhi Bhakti Pran. He says that devotion is the life of all rules. And you can sustain, like labor of love, they say, the burden of carrying a baby in the womb of a mother. That's a heavy burden to carry. That's called the labor of love, burden of love. She doesn't mind carrying the weight and difficulty of pregnancy because of her love for the child, even before he's born. So this is it. Lord Chaitanya, he loved Shuklambara. So this is the ultimate rule, is that he loved this devotee, and whatever the devotee has, he accepted, even some old dried inferior quality rice that was begged, not even cooked. He immediately took it from Shuklambara and partook of it, ate it. Jatavidi Nisheda Sakali Bhakti Das Ihateja Haraduka Se Jayanash. All rules and regulations are servants of devotional service. One who is distressed because of this is vanquished. Vedavyasa has stated that devotion is the root of all rules, and Granga has directly demonstrated this in this pastime. Smarta Vyasadatam Vishnur Saravidi Nishedasur Bismata Vayo Jatuchit Etiyor Evakinkara. Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu. He should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. All rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastra should be the servants of these two principles. So this is a nice point. I guess this is one of the main points of this pastime, about the offering, this offering of rice. Aside from hearing all the actual qualities and characteristics of Shuklamara Brahmachari, but the main teaching of this chapter seems to be this interaction, this pastime, Leela, that he had with Lord Chaitanya, taking his rice, and the points, the philosophical points that we have to learn from that. Mudrana ekari vipranadila apane tarapi tandula prabhu khaila jatane. The Brahmana Shuklambara did not offer the rice with mudras, nor did he even offer it. Yet nevertheless the Lord eagerly ate it. Vishaya mandhanda sava he marmana jane sutadana kulamade vaishnava nachine. Persons who are blinded by the pride of material enjoyment cannot understand this mystery. Intoxicated by their children, wealth and family prestige, they cannot recognize a Vaishnava. As no one recognized Shuklambara. They thought he was some beggar. He was such a great Vaishnava that the Lord came to his house and forcibly took some rice from his hand and ate the offering, which wasn't even offered and wasn't even offerable. By Archan Marg standards, the rice was not, it's supposed to be first class rice you offer to the deities. Wasn't even offerable. Wasn't even cooked. Usually rice has to be cooked before it's offered to the Lord. So although other so-called devotees in Navadvip, they were making offerings to their shalagram or offerings to their murtis very properly, here we see the Lord is going to the house of his devotee directly, sakshat darshan, and taking directly the offering. Deki Murka Daridra Jai Vaishnavere Hase Tara Puja Vitta Kabu Krishnere Navhase. Krishna never accepts the offerings and worship of one who ridicules a Vaishnava, considering him poor or foolish. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying that there are so many people, Vaishnavas, living there nearby and around Shuklambara, but they were ridiculing him for being a poor beggar. And they're making offerings, but here Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying they don't even Krishna is not even accepting their offerings. So it's devotion, of course, that the Lord is interested in.